Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. This is the part where I'm showing you how I control the weeds in my lawn. In the previous video, I gave an overview of the state of my current lawn, and I want to document each step in this process where I'm trying to revitalize my lawn. So the first video you're going to see here is the one where I'm going to show you how I applied a product called Tenacity to control the weeds in my lawn. So I'll show you the results. You've seen in the previous video the weeds that are shown all around the lawn. I walked around and showed you a video of how bad the situation was. So in this video, I'll show you what happened after the application, along with what happened a few days later, and how many applications I did, and what is the end result. So stay tuned. Thanks. So now I'll show you how I mixed up all the liquids to create the solution that I applied as a weed control. First thing I'm doing is taking Tenacity. This one, for applying for 2 gallons, I need to take 1 teaspoon of Tenacity. So you're seeing me measuring it with the applicator and then putting it into the 2 gallons of water into my sprayer. Once that is done, the next step is to use a surfactant. The surfactant helps the Tenacity stick to the leaves. It's basically 3 teaspoons of surfactant needed for making 2 gallons of the solution. So what you're seeing me doing now is take out 3 teaspoons of surfactant and mixing it along with the Tenacity in the water to make about 2 gallons. So the next step you're seeing is me applying the liquid dye. As you're seeing, this bottle leaked a little bit. It's a blue dye. For making 2 gallons, it's recommended to use 4 teaspoons. I actually tried using 4 teaspoons, but I wasn't really very happy with the color outcome. So I went a little bit higher, probably about 5 to 6 teaspoons to make it a really blue color. So I'm filling up the applicator a couple of times to basically make up those 4 teaspoons. And then on top of that, I actually applied a little bit more to make it darker. The purpose of the dye is to basically know where you've already sprayed. I'm closing the sprayer and giving it a nice mix so that everything kind of mixes and gels well together. The next step is applying it to the lawn. These pictures show you the before the application, how much of crabgrass was on the lawn, and I'll take you through the steps of applying it and showing you the results after. So as you're seeing here, next step is really the application to the lawn. I'm walking around with my sprayer. Be careful, you need to wear some personal protective equipment. I'm wearing gloves and a mask and shoes so that you don't want this chemical to get on your skin or something like that. So you just want to be a bit careful. The way to apply this, as you're seeing, is to make sure that you're not going over the same areas more than once. So I went through one pass and then coming over. It's not necessary to apply more than once to the same area. You're seeing the grass getting darker because of the blue dye that I used. The dye helps me know which areas I basically applied and which are still pending. So one of the key things to note is that the cost of these chemicals might seem a little bit high at first. For example, Tenacity is about $70 for about 8 ounces. The surfactant is about $15, and the dye was also about $15. But if you really calculate it on a per gallon basis, I only used about 2 teaspoons of Tenacity, 3 teaspoons of surfactant, and 4 teaspoons of dye to make about 2 gallons, right? So on a per gallon basis, it really works out very, very cheap. So although the upfront cost might look higher, it does not translate to that much when you are doing it on a per gallon basis. Now my lawn is fairly large, so I had to use my sprayer, as you're seeing, can hold up to 2 gallons. So I had to fill it up multiple times. So I had to use about, I guess, 10 gallons for my front yard and about 8 gallons for my backyard. So in between the spraying, I had to go and make that liquid solution again. The steps that I showed you before, I had to do this multiple times. I'm not showing that on the video, but I had to go and refill it multiple times. So after a long hard day, I finished the application. The next thing I'm going to show you after this is the results in terms of what happened after a couple of days and where I ended up. So this is the photographs of the lawn on day 3. What ended up happening is it started turning most of the weed areas white. So it's basically turning white and eventually it will turn brown and hopefully it dies. So this shows you day 3 where there's a close-up shot of where the weeds were and what the changes are. And this is on day 4. It shows you a little bit darker white. So I kept seeing that over the number of days it started turning slowly brown. So this you're seeing after I guess about 10 days or so, they're all turning brown now. So it's all dying, all the weeds. So this shows you the final results after the application. I had to apply Tenacity about 2 to 3 times after giving a break of 2 weeks. So the first application followed by 2-week break, then the second application followed by another 2-week break, and the third application. Mostly the additional applications were basically to get any of the spots that I had missed previously and stuff like that. And in some areas I may not have gone over with the very equal coverage. So as you're seeing here, all the weeds are kind of dead right now. You're seeing all those brown areas that you're seeing are all the dead weeds. It's done a great job in killing off all the weeds. So you saw the before picture, and this shows you the after picture. So it's come out really nicely. So folks, as you saw, the application of the weed control was successful. So I'm very happy with the results. The application, doing it by myself, was extremely satisfying to see the end results as all the weeds being dead. So I really like the way this came out. So stay tuned for additional videos on this subject and the additional steps that I'm going through for the lawn improvement. I would also request that you like this video, post your comments and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching.